Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to cast this crappie that we molded in part 1 of this series. We start by waxing our mold. Any good quality car wax will work. This is kind of a creamy consistency, which I don't necessarily like. I'd prefer a firmer paste wax, but this is just what I have on hand today, and it will work just fine. Just want to make sure we put on a thin coat on the fish so we don't lose any detail. We will give this mold 2 coats, letting it dry and buffing it in between coats. Don't have to be so picky on the flange portion, but on the fish itself, a nice thin coat. Don't want to lose that detail. We'll brush it out real good, and like I say, in between coats we buff it with a rag. And there's the first side done. Repeat the process with the other side and also our fin molds. Repeat the process with the fins. Now I'm going to take a rag and buff these out. Get a nice shine, much like doing a car. I don't know if you can see, but it's got a nice shine to it now. Do the other half and the fins. The next thing we do is spray a couple quick coats of PVA, polyvinyl alcohol. Now the molds are all ready to be cast. You should be able to see a slight tint of green, which is the color of the PVA, showing you got it applied evenly. So the first step in casting our fish is white gel coat. We add our hardener. Mix it up good. And put half in each mold. We use a cheap chip brush or acid brush. These are cheap and you can just throw them away when you're done. We work the gel coat up to the edges. Avoiding the fins for right now. And then we wait just a few minutes until this just starts to kick before we move on to the next step, which will be the fins. The next step is mixing up a clear resin for the fins. We add our hardener. And mix it up real well. Then with our chip brush, we coat the fins. And we give this a few minutes to start setting up. Then we go to reinforcing our body. Now with the leftover clear that we have, I'm just going to do these paired fins. I'm going to use the same material that I used on the main body. Now I'm going to simply put these two halves together and let it set up. To reinforce the body, we mix up our resin and we add to it some chopped fiberglass strands, which gives it a little more strength. Then we add our hardener. And we mix that up good. Then we cover the body evenly with this mix to give it its strength. Same with the other half. And keep working it up the sides as it sets up to get even coverage. Now I'm also, this is the back side of the fish, I'm going to put a wood block in here to accept a screw when it's all done and ready to hang on your wall. And just bond this in with more resin. Then we wait just a little while for this to set up. Now we mix up some more resin with the fiberglass chop to join the two halves together. We also mix up some more clear resin, put another thin coat on each of the fins, again to join together. We add our hardener. And we brush another thin coat on each of the fins. Now we mix our hardener. Mix it up good. And then go all the way around the perimeter of the mold. This will join the two halves together. And repeat this process on the other side. Kind of go around and double check everything. Now we are ready to join our two halves together. Going to clamp it up. Now we let this set up for a few hours or as much as overnight. Keep our fingers crossed, and then we come to the fun part where we get to open. Now it's time to break apart our mold and see what we have. Just slowly insert a screwdriver, work it around the edges, and pop it open. Now we carefully, slowly work our screwdriver underneath the fish. And there we have our finished cast. Now we simply put it in a sink with a scrub brush and some soap and water, clean it up. Then we trim around our fins, around the whole perimeter of the fish. We do our seam work. We Dremel out the eye. We set a glass eye. Install our paired fins. And then we do the same with our fins. Find a place where we can stick the screwdriver in and pop it apart. Just slowly working around the edges. And there's our paired fins. Just trim them with a pair of scissors. They look pretty good. So here's our blank with a little trimming done. The eye cut out, ready to insert the glass eye. We just need to go around, do some seam work, and this guy will be ready to paint up. This is the end of part 2 in casting this crappie. Please be sure to stay tuned for part 3 where I paint this guy up. Thank you for watching. And please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you would like to see more videos from me.